Fixing yourself is not about changing who you are. It's about rediscovering the beauty that has always been within you. It begins with acceptance. Accepting where you are right now, even if you feel lost or broken, is the first act of healing. You see, we spend so much time criticizing ourselves, focusing on what we think is wrong, that we forget our true essence. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real, to be authentic, and to embrace your full self. Fixing yourself begins with one essential truth: acceptance. To truly transform, you must first recognize and accept where you are at this very moment. There is no use in pretending to be somewhere else or wishing you were further along on your journey. Change starts with the acknowledgement that right now, in this present moment, you are enough. Acceptance is not about resigning to your current state, nor is it about giving up on your growth. It is about understanding that where you are today is exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel perfect or ideal. Many of us struggle with this idea because we believe that accepting ourselves means we will stay stuck. We fear that if we accept our current situation, we'll lose our motivation to move forward. But true acceptance does not mean stagnation. In fact, it's the opposite. When you accept yourself as you are right now, you free up the energy that has been trapped in self-criticism, doubt, and frustration. You stop resisting your present circumstances, and in that moment of peace, you create space for healing and change to begin. Consider how much energy you spend wishing things were different. How many hours do you waste replaying old mistakes, judging yourself for what you haven't accomplished, or imagining how much better life would be if only things had gone a different way? This endless cycle of self-judgment does nothing but keep you stuck. It's a mental trap, and the key to breaking free is acceptance. Accepting yourself where you are is like finally letting go of a heavy burden you've been carrying for years. It lightens your spirit and opens the door for real growth. Acceptance is not the same as settling. You can accept yourself and your situation and still desire change. The difference is, when you accept yourself first, any change you make comes from a place of love rather than a place of shame or fear. It's the difference between saying, I need to fix myself because I'm not good enough, and saying, I want to grow because I love and respect myself. One is motivated by the desire to erase your perceived flaws, while the other is driven by self-love and the desire to become the best version of yourself. When you begin with acceptance, you allow yourself to see the truth of your situation without judgment. Maybe you haven't reached your goals yet. Maybe you're still healing from past wounds. Maybe you're still learning and growing, and that's okay. Acceptance allows you to see your life for what it is, without the added layers of guilt or regret. It's about looking at yourself honestly, without the harsh criticism we so often impose on ourselves. Think of it this way: you wouldn't judge a flower for not blooming fast enough, would you? You wouldn't criticize the ocean for not being calm every day. Just as nature has its seasons, so do we. Some seasons are for growth, others are for rest. Some are for learning, and others for healing. Each stage of your life is valuable, even the difficult ones. When you accept yourself, you honor each of these seasons. You understand that even in your struggles, you are worthy of love and compassion. It's important to realize that acceptance doesn't mean you stop striving. It doesn't mean you stop wanting to improve or achieve more in life. But what it does mean is that you stop punishing yourself for not being where you think you should be. It's about finding peace with who you are right now, flaws and all. In that peace, you can begin to heal the parts of yourself that need attention. You can begin to grow in the ways that truly matter. Self-acceptance is also a practice. It's something you have to work on daily. There will be days when it's easier to love yourself, and there will be days when self-criticism creeps in. But the more you practice acceptance, the more it becomes second nature. You begin to shift your mindset from one of constant judgment to one of understanding and kindness. When you accept yourself fully, you also become more resilient. Life's challenges don't break you as easily because you no longer see them as personal failures. You understand that setbacks are a part of life, not a reflection of your worth. You learn to trust yourself more, to believe that no matter what happens, you can handle it because you are enough. Acceptance gives you the inner strength to face whatever life throws your way with grace and confidence. So start where you are. Accept where you are. Know that you are exactly where you need to be right now, even if it doesn't feel like it. Trust that by accepting yourself fully in this moment, you are laying the foundation for the growth and transformation that is yet to come. Fixing yourself doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means returning to the truth of who you've always been. And that journey begins with acceptance. Releasing negative patterns is a crucial step on the journey to healing and personal transformation. These patterns, often ingrained in us over time, are the subconscious thoughts and behaviors that keep us trapped in cycles of frustration, self-doubt, and limitation. Many of them stem from past experiences, old wounds, or the messages we absorbed during childhood. They might manifest as negative self-talk, limiting beliefs about our abilities, or emotional reactions that feel out of proportion to the present moment. Breaking free from these patterns requires awareness, intention, and a deep willingness to change. The first step to releasing negative patterns is recognizing that they exist. So often we operate on autopilot, unaware of the repetitive thoughts and behaviors that shape our reality. Maybe you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed." Maybe you react with anger or fear in situations where a calmer, more measured response would serve you better. These patterns feel familiar because they've been with you for so long. But familiarity doesn't mean they're beneficial. In fact, these patterns can be the very things holding you back from the life you want to live. To identify negative patterns, start paying attention to your inner dialogue and emotional responses. Notice how you speak to yourself in moments of challenge or discomfort. Are your thoughts supportive, or are they filled with criticism and doubt? Do you believe you're capable, or do you sabotage yourself with thoughts of inadequacy? It's important to realize that these patterns often operate beneath the surface, quietly influencing your actions and decisions. By bringing them into the light of your awareness, you begin to loosen their grip on your life. Once you've identified the negative patterns, the next step is to question them. Just because a thought or belief has been with you for a long time doesn't mean it's true or useful. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it something I learned from my family, society, or past experience? Does it really apply to who I am today? Many of the negative patterns we hold on to are relics of the past. They were created in moments of fear or pain, and they may have served a purpose at one point. But as you grow, these old patterns often become outdated, no longer serving your highest good. The process of releasing negative patterns also involves letting go of the emotional attachment to them. Sometimes we cling to negative beliefs because they feel safe or familiar. They give us a sense of control, even if that control is based on limiting or damaging thoughts. Releasing these patterns requires a willingness to step into the unknown, to trust that you are capable of creating new, healthier ways of thinking and being. It's a leap of faith, but one that leads to greater freedom and peace. Affirmations and visualization are powerful tools in this process. When you identify a negative belief, replace it with a positive affirmation that reflects the reality you want to create. For example, if you've been telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," replace that thought with, "I am worthy of love and success." At first, this may feel strange or uncomfortable, especially if the old belief has been with you for a long time. But with repetition, the new affirmation begins to take root, slowly but surely replacing the negative pattern with a positive one. Visualization can also help in releasing negative patterns. Picture yourself living free of the old belief, reacting to situations with confidence and grace. Imagine how it would feel to approach life with an open heart and a clear mind, unburdened by fear, guilt, or self-doubt. The more vividly you can imagine this new version of yourself, the more real it becomes. Your brain begins to create new neural pathways that support your desired reality, making it easier to release the old patterns and embrace new ways of thinking. Another important aspect of releasing negative patterns is forgiveness. Often these patterns are tied to past hurts or traumas. We hold on to them as a form of self-protection, believing that by clinging to the pain, we can prevent it from happening again. But in reality, holding on to these patterns only keeps us stuck in the past. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional charge attached to those old experiences. It's not about condoning what happened, but about freeing yourself from the heavy burden of resentment and blame. Forgive yourself for the times you've been hard on yourself or made mistakes. Forgive others for the pain they've caused, knowing that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. As you release the grip of these old emotions, you create space for new, healthier patterns to emerge. You begin to see yourself and the world through a lens of compassion and understanding rather than one of fear and judgment. Finally, be patient with yourself in this process. Releasing negative patterns is not something that happens overnight. These beliefs and behaviors took years to form, and they may take time to unravel. There will be moments when the old patterns resurface, and that's okay. What's important is that you stay committed to the process. Each time you catch yourself falling back into an old pattern, gently remind yourself of your intention to change. With time and persistence, the negative patterns will loosen their hold, and you'll begin to experience a new sense of freedom and possibility. In releasing negative patterns, you are not just letting go of what no longer serves you, you are creating space for the person you are meant to become. You are stepping into a life of greater joy, peace, and authenticity, free from the limitations of the past. It's a journey worth taking, and it all begins with the decision to release what no longer serves you. Practicing self-compassion is one of the most transformative steps you can take on your journey of personal growth and healing. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and care that you would offer to someone you love. Yet for many people, self-compassion doesn't come naturally. We live in a world where self-criticism is common, and we often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards. When we make mistakes or fall short, the first instinct is to berate ourselves, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. However, self-compassion teaches us to respond to our imperfections with gentleness and understanding, recognizing that being human means we will sometimes fail, stumble, and face difficulty. At its core, self-compassion is about acknowledging your own suffering without adding to it. When you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, you can say to yourself, "I'm going through a tough time right now, but that's okay. I'm allowed to struggle, and I'll get through this." This approach doesn't ignore your pain or dismiss your challenges. Instead, it gives you permission to experience difficult emotions without harsh self-judgment. This shift in perspective makes all the difference in how you recover from setbacks, allowing you to heal faster and more fully. One of the barriers to self-compassion is the belief that we don't deserve it. Many of us feel that kindness should be reserved for others and that our own mistakes warrant harsh judgment or punishment. This belief often stems from childhood, where we may have internalized messages that we are only worthy of love if we perform well or meet certain expectations. As adults, we continue to hold ourselves to those same standards, believing that if we're not perfect, we're somehow unworthy. But the truth is, every person is deserving of compassion simply because we are all human. We are all imperfect, and that imperfection is part of the shared human experience. Another common misconception is that self-compassion will make us lazy or complacent. Some people worry that if they're too kind to themselves, they won't be motivated to improve or work hard. However, research shows that the opposite is true. When we treat ourselves with compassion, we are more likely to be resilient and motivated. Self-compassion helps you build a stronger foundation of self-worth, which fuels a healthier drive to grow, learn, and achieve. Instead of pushing yourself out of fear or shame, you begin to pursue your goals out of a sense of love and respect for yourself. One of the most practical ways to cultivate self-compassion is to notice your inner dialogue. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, especially in moments of difficulty. When you make a mistake, do you call yourself names or criticize yourself harshly? Or do you respond with understanding and kindness? Start by softening your inner voice. Imagine how you would comfort a close friend who is going through the same situation. You wouldn't tell them they're a failure or that they're not good enough. You would offer words of encouragement, understanding, and support. Practice offering the same to yourself. Mindfulness is another important aspect of self-compassion. Mindfulness allows you to be present with your emotions without getting swept away by them. When you're mindful, you can observe your thoughts and feelings with curiosity rather than judgment. This helps create a space between you and your reactions, making it easier to choose a compassionate response. Instead of being overwhelmed by self-criticism, mindfulness allows you to pause, breathe, and approach yourself with care. Forgiveness is also a key element of self-compassion. We all make mistakes, but how we respond to those mistakes determines our ability to grow and heal. Holding on to guilt or shame only deepens our wounds. Self-forgiveness, on the other hand, releases the emotional burden and opens the door to healing. It's important to remember that forgiving yourself doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or avoiding accountability. It means recognizing that you are human and that you are capable of learning from your mistakes and doing better in the future. Another way to practice self-compassion is by setting healthy boundaries. This means protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Often we stretch ourselves too thin trying to please others or meet external expectations, leaving little room for self-care. Self-compassion involves honoring your own needs and recognizing that it's okay to say no sometimes. It's about treating yourself with the same respect and care you would give to others. When you prioritize your own well-being, you are in a better position to show up fully in all areas of your life. Lastly, self-compassion is a practice that deepens over time. It's not about achieving some perfect state of kindness towards yourself. It's about consistently choosing to respond to yourself with care, especially when things are hard. There will be days when it's easier to be compassionate and days when old habits of self-criticism resurface. But with each choice to practice self-compassion, you are strengthening your capacity to be gentle with yourself. In a world that often encourages us to be hard on ourselves, practicing self-compassion is a radical act of self-love. It is a reminder that you are worthy of kindness, understanding, and care no matter what. When you choose to treat yourself with compassion, you create the conditions for deep healing and transformation. You begin to see yourself not as someone who needs to be fixed or perfected, but as someone who is deserving of love, just as you are. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for personal transformation and emotional freedom. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or pain from the past, it can weigh heavily on your heart and mind, creating barriers that prevent you from moving forward. Many of us struggle with the idea of forgiveness because we confuse it with condoning hurtful actions or forgetting the pain we've endured. However, true forgiveness is not about excusing wrong behavior. It's about releasing yourself from the emotional burden that comes with holding on to that pain. It's a gift you give yourself to regain your peace and reclaim your power. Forgiveness begins with a decision. It's a conscious choice to let go of the anger and resentment that may have built up over time. The hurt we experience from others, whether through betrayal, neglect, or any other form of harm, can leave deep emotional scars. It's natural to want to protect ourselves from future hurt, but holding on to that pain often does more harm than good. The negative emotions tied to the past can seep into your present life, affecting your relationships, your work, and your overall well-being. By choosing to forgive, you make a powerful statement that you will no longer let the actions of others control your happiness. Forgiveness is also a process, not a one-time event. It takes time to heal from the wounds of the past, and it's perfectly normal to experience moments where the pain resurfaces. In those moments, it's important to remind yourself of your commitment to forgiveness. Each time you practice letting go, you release a little more of the emotional weight that's been holding you back. This process might involve revisiting painful memories or confronting difficult emotions, but it's through this courageous journey that true healing occurs. One of the most common misconceptions about forgiveness is that it requires an apology or a reconciliation with the person who hurt you. While apologies can help, they are not necessary for you to forgive. Forgiveness is a deeply personal act that doesn't depend on anyone else's actions. You can choose to forgive someone even if they never acknowledge their wrongdoing. You are not doing it for them, you are doing it for your own peace of mind. Forgiveness frees you from the cycle of pain and empowers you to move forward with your life, no longer bound by the hurt of the past. Moving forward after forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't affect you. It's important to acknowledge your feelings and honor your experience. What forgiveness does is allow you to shift your focus from the pain of the past to the possibilities of the future. Instead of being trapped in a loop of reliving the hurt, you give yourself permission to heal and open up to new experiences. Forgiveness allows you to take control of your narrative, transforming a story of pain into one of resilience and growth. Forgiving others is often challenging, but it's also essential to practice self-forgiveness. We are often our own harshest critics, holding on to guilt or shame for mistakes we've made in the past. This internalized blame can be just as damaging as resentment toward others. If you're constantly punishing yourself for your past, it becomes difficult to move forward and make positive changes in your life. Self-forgiveness involves acknowledging where you've gone wrong, learning from your mistakes, and then letting go of the guilt. It's about recognizing that you are human, imperfect, and capable of growth. Self-forgiveness, like forgiving others, is an act of self-love. It allows you to stop beating yourself up and instead focus on how you can become the best version of yourself moving forward. You cannot change the past, but you can shape your future by releasing the hold that regret and guilt have on you. When you forgive yourself, you allow space for healing and transformation to take place. You become open to the lessons that your past mistakes have to offer, which ultimately guide you toward greater wisdom and self-awareness. Forgiving and moving forward also involves setting healthy boundaries. While forgiveness frees you from the emotional weight of the past, it doesn't mean that you allow toxic or harmful behavior to continue. You can forgive someone and still choose to distance yourself from them if that's what is best for your well-being. Forgiveness is about inner peace, not sacrificing your safety or self-respect. By setting boundaries, you protect yourself from future harm while still letting go of the resentment that could keep you stuck in the past. The act of forgiveness is a powerful form of liberation. It frees you from the emotional prison that pain and resentment create. When you forgive, you open the door to new opportunities for joy, connection, and fulfillment. You allow yourself to live more fully in the present, unburdened by the shadows of the past. It doesn't mean that the hurt never happened. It means that the hurt no longer controls your life. Moving forward after forgiveness is a conscious decision to reclaim your happiness and peace. You begin to focus on the possibilities of today rather than the pain of yesterday. Every step you take toward healing is a step toward a brighter, more peaceful future. Forgiveness allows you to let go of the past and embrace the limitless potential that awaits you. It is one of the greatest acts of self-love and self-care, leading you toward a life of freedom and fulfillment. Creating a vision for your life is a powerful process that involves aligning your dreams, desires, and goals with a clear and intentional path forward. It starts with asking yourself what kind of life you truly want to live. For many, this is a difficult question to answer because we often get caught up in the demands of daily life, leaving little time to reflect on our deeper aspirations. However, by consciously designing a vision for your life, you take control of your destiny rather than simply reacting to circumstances. Your vision becomes a roadmap, guiding you toward the future you desire. The first step in creating a vision is giving yourself permission to dream without limitations. Too often, we limit our thinking based on past experiences, fears, or the expectations of others. When you start imagining what you truly want, it's important to release any self-imposed restrictions. This is your vision, and it should be expansive and inspiring. Ask yourself what kind of relationships you want to cultivate, what career or work fulfills you, where you want to live, and what kind of impact you want to make in the world. Think about how you want to feel every day and what kind of experiences you wish to have. Once you've allowed yourself to dream freely, the next step is to get specific. A vision is more than just a vague idea of what you want. It requires clarity. The more detailed you can be, the more real your vision will become in your mind, which helps manifest it in reality. Write down your vision, describing it as vividly as possible. What does a day in your ideal life look like? Who are you surrounded by? What activities are you engaged in? How do you contribute to the world? The more senses you engage in your vision, what you see, hear, feel, the stronger and more motivating it becomes. An essential part of creating a vision for your life is connecting it to your values. Your vision should be in alignment with what you believe in and what's important to you. For example, if you value freedom, your vision may involve more travel, flexible work, or creative expression. If you value family, your vision may center around nurturing close relationships and spending quality time with loved ones. When your vision is grounded in your values, it not only feels authentic, but also becomes a source of inner strength and purpose. This connection helps keep you focused and resilient, even when challenges arise. Once you've created a clear and values-aligned vision, it's important to make it a living part of your daily life. A vision isn't something you write once and forget about. It should serve as a source of ongoing inspiration and guidance. Keep your vision somewhere you can see it often, whether it's a vision board, a journal, or a digital document. Read it regularly to remind yourself of what you're working toward. Visualization practices can also be incredibly powerful. Take time each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself living that vision. Feel the emotions of success, fulfillment, joy, and peace as if they are already yours. While it's important to dream big, it's equally crucial to break your vision down into actionable steps. Creating a vision is not just about imagining the future, it's about making it happen. Identify the goals that will move you closer to your vision. What do you need to achieve in the next year, month, or week to bring your vision to life? Setting clear, attainable goals gives you a sense of direction and keeps you accountable. Remember, your vision is a long-term plan, and each small step you take brings you closer to realizing it. It's also essential to stay open and flexible. Life is unpredictable and circumstances may change. Your vision is not a rigid blueprint, but rather a guide that can evolve as you grow and gain new experiences. Be open to adjusting your vision as you learn more about yourself and the world around you. Sometimes the path to achieving your vision may take unexpected turns, but as long as you remain true to your core values and stay focused on the essence of what you want, you will find your way. One of the most empowering aspects of creating a vision for your life is the sense of ownership it brings. You are no longer at the mercy of external forces or drifting aimlessly without purpose. By creating a vision, you declare that you are the architect of your own life. You have the power to shape your reality and create a future that excites and fulfills you. This sense of agency transforms how you approach life, giving you a sense of purpose and direction that fuels your actions and decisions. Finally, it's important to remember that creating a vision for your life is not just about the destination, it's about enjoying the journey. Your vision should inspire you to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating each step you take toward your dreams. The process of growing, learning, and evolving is just as important as achieving your goals. By aligning your actions with your vision, you create a life filled with meaning, joy, and fulfillment, not just in the future, but right now. Affirming your power daily is a transformative practice that allows you to harness your inner strength and create a life aligned with your deepest desires and values. This practice involves regularly reminding yourself of your capabilities, worth, and potential, and it has the power to shift your mindset, boost your confidence, and enhance your overall well-being. Affirmations are more than just positive statements. They are declarations that shape your reality and reinforce the belief that you have the power to achieve your goals and live a fulfilling life. To start, it's essential to understand the impact of your internal dialogue. The way you talk to yourself influences your beliefs, emotions, and actions. If your self-talk is filled with doubt, criticism, or negativity, it can create barriers to success and happiness. Conversely, positive affirmations can uplift your spirit, foster resilience, and drive you toward your goals. Affirmations help reframe your thinking patterns, replacing self-limiting beliefs with empowering ones. By consistently affirming your power, you gradually shift your mindset from one of self-doubt to one of self-assurance. One effective way to incorporate affirmations into your daily routine is to create a list of statements that resonate with your personal aspirations and values. These affirmations should be positive, present tense, and specific. For example, instead of saying, "I will be confident," you might say, "I am confident in all that I do." This approach helps reinforce the belief that you already possess the qualities you are affirming. Choose affirmations that reflect your goals, strengths, and desires, and make them a regular part of your daily practice. Integrating affirmations into your daily life can be done in various ways. One method is to start your day with a set of affirmations. Upon waking, take a few moments to recite your affirmations aloud or in your mind. This morning ritual sets a positive tone for the day and helps you approach your tasks with a mindset of empowerment and purpose. You can also write your affirmations in a journal, making it a habit to review and reflect on them each day. This written practice not only reinforces your affirmations, but also provides a space for you to track your progress and celebrate your achievements. Visualizing your affirmations can also enhance their effectiveness. As you repeat your affirmations, imagine yourself living the reality you are affirming. For instance, if your affirmation is about being successful in your career, visualize yourself achieving your professional goals and experiencing the joy and satisfaction that comes with success. This visualization helps create a strong emotional connection to your affirmations, making them more impactful and motivating. Affirming your power daily requires consistency and commitment. It's important to make affirmations a regular part of your routine, even on days when you may not feel particularly positive or motivated. Just like physical exercise strengthens your body, regularly practicing affirmations strengthens your mental and emotional resilience. Over time, the repeated reinforcement of positive beliefs becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind, leading to lasting changes in your behavior and outlook. It's also valuable to be mindful of any resistance or skepticism you may encounter when practicing affirmations. Sometimes old habits of negative thinking can surface, making it challenging to fully embrace the positive statements you're affirming. If you notice this resistance, acknowledge it without judgment and gently redirect your focus to your affirmations. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate all doubts instantly, but to gradually shift your mindset toward greater self-belief and empowerment. In addition to individual affirmations, you can also affirm your power through affirming your values and intentions. Reflect on the core principles that guide your life, such as integrity, kindness, or perseverance, and create affirmations that reinforce these values. For instance, if integrity is a core value for you, an affirmation might be, "I act with integrity in all my interactions." This approach helps align your actions with your values, creating a cohesive and authentic expression of your personal power. Affirming your power daily is not about achieving perfection, but about cultivating a mindset that supports your growth and well-being. It's about embracing your inherent strengths and believing in your ability to overcome challenges and create a life that reflects your true potential. By making affirmations a regular practice, you empower yourself to face each day with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Ultimately, the practice of affirming your power daily is an affirmation of your self-worth and capability. It's a reminder that you have the inner resources to shape your reality and achieve your dreams. As you consistently affirm your power, you build a strong foundation of self-belief and resilience that propels you toward a life of fulfillment and success. Embrace this practice with commitment and openness, and watch as your life transforms in alignment with the powerful affirmations you hold.